Hello, this is Jerry Brown, and I would like to do a brief reflection on my final project for the Applied Technology for Personal and Professional Productivity course. For this project, we were asked to research some productivity tools, a package of tools such as a computer, software, and a portable device like a tablet or a telephone that could be grouped together to create a group of tools for students who were enrolling in a master's degree program. So we were asked to find a group of these items that would be, powerful enough to work well for the students, but also be cost effective, so as the university wouldn't spend too much. So to that end, I'll share with you a few slides from my presentation. The software package that I chose to go with was the Microsoft Word, Excel, PowerPoint grouping called Microsoft Office. And it's a fairly common package that houses all these programs that are used almost through every education system or business in the world. It's pretty common, probably the most common productivity suite that exists. Been around for a very long time and is compatible with almost every system. For the computer itself, I chose to go with the Dell XPS 15, which on this slide is in the center. It has the hardware capability that actually surpasses both the Mac and the HP that I located, but the pricing is less expensive than either the Mac or the HP. I figured my selection, I went with a laptop because I feel a laptop gives the user more flexibility. As a student, you're going to be constantly, on the go. As a master's degree or MBA student, normally you're working and going to school. So the idea of being tethered to a desk somewhere all the time and being able to, work and on your assignments and have the time available to just sit and work on your assignments is probably not going to happen. You're probably juggling responsibilities at home with a family or work responsibilities as well as your educational responsibilities. So a laptop gives you some portability. Maybe you've got 10 minutes at a coffee shop. You can pull out your laptop and write a few paragraphs for your paper. So I figured that was the way to go for the PC. Modern day laptops are just as powerful, or can be even more powerful than a desktop. So that really just came down to, do you want the portability over something that's tethered to a desk? And then for the mobile component, I decided to go with the iPhone XS Max. I suppose really any iPhone in the family that's current would work. This just happens to be the most current model that exists now. It has a large screen for, if you should want to read a document. It wouldn't necessarily be the best tool for creating a presentation, but I don't feel like tablets are really there either. I feel like a tablet doesn't really offer you, if you're going to write a paper, I know I certainly wouldn't want to use a tablet to do it. So, the phone is really just going to be sort of a communications hub. You can call, you can text, you can email, you could briefly review a document sent to you or make a few small edits, but you're not going to want to create your whole project there. And the Microsoft suite with Word and Excel and PowerPoint, those can all be downloaded onto the iPhone, so you still have that compatibility there, as well as all the other apps that you can download for their phone, the different productivity tools that other companies make. And the good thing about Apple is with their App Store, they have a more stringent policy for what can be put on their App Store. They're more selective, and they do that so that they can try to weed out any sort of malware that somebody may want to slip in. And that's not offered, I don't think, as well with like the Android App Store. Plus, the iPhone holds its value a little better, I think, than most Android phones. So if the university is going to use these as a loaner sort of situation where a new student comes in, they get this package, and then when it's over, they return these things back to the university. The university can upgrade or recoup some of their costs by selling these items when they're phased out for newer items. So I think the iPhone retains its value a little bit better. Uh, to end this video, we were asked to reflect or describe how this project may assist us in further education activities. And I think overall it gives you a good appreciation for the hardware that exists. Obviously, to do this project, you have to research different things that exist out there. So you're exposed to different items that you may not have been aware of before you started this project, and it gives you some familiarity with things you may run into during your education or even when you get out into the business world. So this will assist in knowing what my options are. I'll obviously have a better knowledge of knowing what exists that I may want to call upon as a resource. Also, creating this package itself, this presentation, we had to put together a PowerPoint slide, as you're seeing here, a spreadsheet that sort of tabulated all our information, and that's this here. And then we had to write a sort of persuasive paper directed towards the the university deciding body, and fictitious, of course, for the purpose of this paper, but that the experience of putting all this together, will certainly assist me going further with my education, because now I sort of, and through this process, have learned to put together a sales pitch, which I'm sure I'll have to do again in school, and certainly you have to do again in the business world when you're trying to persuade somebody to see your point of view and maybe go with a sales idea that you have. Being able to present some quantifiable information will certainly be persuasive and help you make your point, and being able to present it in a easily understandable way is going to help the person you're trying to persuade digest that information a little more easily. And the second question was, how will this project be relevant to me and my future career plans? And I think that's still sort of some of the same answers there, is that I've learned how to put together a professional presentation and make a pitch or an argument to a colleague or a boss about a potential business idea that I might have, and give them good, sturdy information. Not a lot of fluff, stuff that gets right down to the point of what I'm trying to get to, and hopefully allows them to see why the point I'm making makes sense. Hopefully, if I've done my homework and my argument is valid, the information will reflect that, and hopefully the viewer will agree with what I'm asking them to agree with. And also, doing this process will have shown me different technologies or different applications that exist that could be useful in a professional world. Say, for instance, if you don't want to go with the Microsoft suite, you can go with the Google. Google has a whole suite of programs that are very similar as Google Docs, which would be Microsoft Word, or Google Sheets, which is the equivalent to Excel. And these programs are free. They're not as robust as the Microsoft programs, but they offer a lot of the same capabilities. So if you were, say, maybe starting a business and you needed to save some costs up front, learning through this presentation, you learn about different things that could help you do just as professional a job, but at, a reduced cost. So, also, I guess, the research aspect of this project will be beneficial in any, sort of professional setting or educational setting. It's always good to know how to research an idea, where to go to look, how to organize your thoughts, and how to collect all that information together and put it in a easy to understand package or presentation. So overall, I enjoyed doing this project. It was fun for me to gather this information and then have to present it in several different ways. Obviously, through PowerPoint, it's very visual. Word, that's more a descriptive storytelling sort of medium. And then the Excel program is sort of like the boiled down, like the hard facts, like what you really need to know. But all together, those things together present an overall story, or very well-rounded presentation of my ideas. And I've enjoyed getting to play with each aspect of these tools through the creating of this presentation. So that's all I have, and I thank you very much for listening.